nutrition. And this video is talking about the production of adipic acid.
Adipic acid, which is also known as hexene acid or 1,4-butene-decarboxylic acid, is an important industrial decarboxylic acid with molecular formula C6H10O4. It is a white crystalline solid and is insoluble in water. It is an important monomer in polymer industry and is mainly used as precursor for the synthesis of nylon 66. High purity demand and large scale availability has led to the wide variety of applications. Adipic acid is a key raw material for a broad range of applications. According to Hexa Research in 2016, it is expected that the global adipic acid market will experience a significant growth for the next 6 years on account of an increasing applications. In 2005, studies showed that there was around 80% of the worldwide adipic acid consumption is used for the manufacture of nylon 66. The consumption has been increased to 86% in 2020.
The second major application of adipic acid is polyurethane resin, which accounts for 5% of the total adipic acid application. It is followed by 4% of the applications as adipic ester, which is monomeric and polymeric ester. Monomeric ester are important plasticizers for polyphenol chloride and other resin, whereas polymeric ester are used when unusually high plasticizer levels are required. Only 5% of adipic acid that used for other applications such as a lubricant additive in coating and also in textile industry. Adipic acid with the mixed dibasic acid are also being used as buffer in fuel gas desulfurization treatment in power plant.
The global adipic acid market has been growing over the past 10 years. The growth is driven by Asia-Pacific, North America, and Europe regions. Asia, specifically by the rapid advancements from China, is slated to be the fastest growing market for adipic acid. The growth of adipic acid in Asia and other regions are also stimulated by ever-increasing consumptions and also the experience of major producers. There are 23 adipic acid producers with total production capacity that have reached almost 3 million tons per year in 2010. United States is the largest exporter, whereas China is the largest importer in Asia.
According to figure, investors contribute the highest percentage of adipic acid, which is approximately 21% to the global adipic acid capacity. It is then followed by Rhodia, which is around 80%. There has been a huge expansion in capacity in China in the past few years. This can be seen through the experience of some major plants in China, such as Shandong Haili. There are more expansions of projects are still planned in China, encouraged by good profitability.
China is the largest producer and importer in Asia that has entered adipic acid industry rather late, but the development has been rapid. This is shown by the increased production capacity of China from 250 kilotons per year in 2007 to 650 kilotons per year in 2010. China is the only country that planning to increase their production capacity by the conservative increase of industrial output, imports and exports, consumptions, and capital investments for over 2 decades. Our plant capacity is 100 kilotons per year, which is same as the production capacity of new plants in China. Our plant operating days are 330 days, and another 35 days are used for maintenance and setup of the plants. Our plant capacity is estimated to cover 30.89% of the global deficiency of adipic acid. There are various alternative pathways to produce adipic acid traditionally from petrochemical feedstock, such as from cyclohexane, benzene, and phenol. Cyclohexane-based process accounts for 93% of the production volume, whereas there is 4% and 3% for the others two process. Cyclohexane is expected to retain its dominant positions as the feedstock for adipic acid manufacture. There are many ways that produce adipic acid, such as by commercial route or by speculative route. Adipic acid can be produced from commercial routes such as from cyclohexanes or to produce intermediate, which is Ka mixture that consists of cyclohexanol and cyclohexanol to adipic acid. The second route is by cyclohexanes to produce cyclohexanol through partial hydrogenations of the feedstock. The third process is produced from phenol. Whereas the productions of adipic acids through speculative route includes from butadiene by hydrocarboxylations, that from direct oxidations of cyclohexanol or cyclohexane. The third is from biosynthesis of glucose. Fourth is from cyclohexane, cyclohexanol or cyclohexanol that react with hydrogen peroxide. Currently, most of the industrial production process that produce adipic acids is by two-stage process. The first stage includes the productions of intermediates such as Ka mixture. Ka mixture is a mixture of cyclohexanol and cyclohexanol. The intermediate Ka mixture is then oxidized to adipic acid in the second stage with the presence of catalysts such as nitric acid. However, the production process of adipic acid in this plant is by direct oxidations of cyclohexane with occurrence 30% of hydrogen peroxide in the presence of catalyst, which is tungstate acid. Cyclohexane is used as feedstock instead of the most common type of feedstock, which is cyclohexane. This is because the combustion level by cyclohexane is quite low, which is from 4 to 8% in order to achieve high selectivity. Currently, a two-stage oxidation process is used in most of the production industry. Nitric acid is used as catalyst in the second stage. However, this process will release harmful emissions where nitrous oxide will be released. Hence, this will contribute to the global warming and ozone depletion. Also, hydrogen peroxide that used in direct oxidations is considered as an ideal oxidant because of its high oxygen content. In this process, only water is produced as byproduct and no harmful emissions is released. Hence, this process is said follow the green chemistry principle. The main reactions of this production process is the direct oxidations of cyclohexane with approximately 30% of hydrogen peroxide in the presence of catalysts, which is sodium tungstate dihydrate and tetrabutyl ammonium hydrogen sulfide as a phase transfer catalyst. The phase transfer catalyst is needed because cyclohexane is not soluble in aqueous where tungstate reacts with hydrogen peroxide to form an ionic peroxide species, the true oxidizing species. Main reactions is carried out at 90 degrees Celsius and 1 atm. It's a continuous process and occurs in a backpack microreactor. The reaction process is highly exothermic, but there is only water produced as byproduct. The combustion of cyclohexane in these reactions is around 98%, so the yield of adipic acid obtained is 93%. The product from reactor includes unconverted cyclohexane, water monolingual, and crude adipic acid. The product is then sent to separator in order to recover the unconverted cyclohexane. The product from separator is then followed by the repeating crystallizations and centrifugation process in order to obtain higher purity. It enters the first crystallizer and is vacuum crystallized at a temperature of 50 degrees Celsius. A crude crystal of adipic acid is produced in this stage. Due to the temperature and pressure difference between the incoming feed solutions and the suspensions in the crude crystallizer, the vapor are flashed out, leading to the formation of the crystal of adipic acid. Centrifugation is carried out where water is released as monolingual at 25 degrees Celsius and pressure of 1 atm. Since adipic acid is slightly soluble in water, the solid is washed by using a minimal amount of hot water in order to enhance the purity. Adipic acid slurry from the centrifuge is then sent to a concentrating still.
In this stage, the adipic acid slurry is concentrated and water is removed. The operating conditions is at 85 degrees Celsius and a vacuum pressure of 26 kilopascal. The bottom product from concentrating steel is further vacuum recrystallizations at a lower temperature at 50 degrees Celsius. This causes the crystallizations of the remaining adipic acids to produce higher purity of adipic acid. It is then followed by centrifugations again, where hot water is used to wash the adipic acid in order to obtain higher purity. Adipic acid is then sent to a dryer to be dried at temperature of 70 degrees Celsius, and the purity of adipic acid at this stage is around 95 to 99%. The plot diagram that summarizes the overall process is shown in the next. The components that involved in the production process is adipic acid, hydrogen peroxide, sodium tungstate dihydride, tetrabutyl ammonium hydrosulfide, and cyclohexane. The hazard and health effect of each component is shown in the figure. For the component that is flammable, such as cyclohexane, it should be kept away from heat and ignition source. Also, it should be stored in a separate safety storage cabinet or room and keep it cool, well-ventilated place. For components which is reactive, such as sodium tungstate dihydride, it should be kept away from oxidizing agents and stored in a cold and well-ventilation area. It should not be stored at temperature above 25 degrees Celsius. All the components that involved in the reactions is irritants, hence a proper protective goggle or face shield should be worn when handling it. Prolonged contact with the skin should be avoided. So in conclusion, adipic acid is a white crystalline solid and mainly used as precursor for nylon 6. Due to the increasing growth in the end-use industry such as automotive, the global demand of adipic acids is increasing at the compound annual growth rate of 4.5% from 2013 to 2018 and is more than 4.5% in 2023. In order to fulfill the demand gap, the global supply of adipic acid is increasing. In 2023, the global deficiency gap is around 0.79 million tons, and our plant is decided to produce 100 kilotons per year of adipic acid. This recovers around 13.89% of the global deficient demand. The pathway selected for the production process in our plant is by direct oxidation of hexane with accuracy 30% of hydrogen peroxide with the use of catalyst, which is sodium tungstate dihydride and tetrabutyl ammonium hydrogen sulfide as a phase transfer catalyst. The operating conditions is carried out at 90 degrees Celsius and 1 atm. It is a continuous process and occurs in a backpack reactor. The reactions is very exothermic, but only water is produced as co-product in. And so this is from me. Thank you.